Hey you, this is Jasim from Codeband, and in this video I'm gonna be showing you what are loops in Python. So we'll also talk about for loops in general. So if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe my channel and click the bell icon near to it. So without any further, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so loops in general, we could say, if you want to execute, a particular block of code for a number of times, like if you want to, for example, if you want to print your name 10 times, then therein we use the concept of loops. So if, for example, if you want to print your name 10 times, the possible workaround would be like, I'll print code band and I'll just copy and paste this stuff 10 times. So that's the method we will be using by now. If we don't have the understanding of for loops, then we'll just copy paste this as 10 times. So what if if you want to print it 100 times, so which will blow your entire code base. So therein comes the the importance of loops in Python. So loops, as far as loops are concerned, there are two main loops in Python: for loops and while loops. Okay, so this is for loops and there are other loops such as while loop. So we'll talk about while loops in a separate video. Now we can just talk about for loops. So for example, what I could possibly say is I have a list of fruits here. Now if you're not familiar with list, please do watch my previous separate video on lists, which I'll put the link in the description section. Now if you're a complete beginner to Python, I have a complete Python tutorial series for which I'll put the link in the description section, so you can watch them and follow along. So I'll just say fruits is equal to apple, orange, then banana, then I could say strawberry and all those stuff. Let me say I have these four items. So what if I want to print these four items individually? So the possible workaround would be like print fruits of 0 by using the index. Now the 0 index is apple, so I have just printed apple. Now I could print these four things like fruits of 1, fruits of 2, fruits of 3. Now this is the possible workaround for that. Now if you have 100 fruits, then what you could possibly do is write this print statement 100 times. So that is not at all the recommended way. That will bloat your entire code base. So what you could possibly do is you could use a for loop. Okay, I'll talk about while loops in a later video. So in the case of for loops, what you could possibly do is for then a variable. Let me say it as fruit. You could use like I or y or something like that. I'll say it as fruit in fruits. Okay, in this stuff in fruits. So for fruit in fruits. So which is much like the English language for fruit, for each fruit in fruits. What do you want to do is print fruit. Very simple. Now this fruit will take this element first and it will print, then it will take this element and it will print, then it will take this banana, then it will take this strawberry, and in each of times it will print the fruit. Okay, so we could also say multiple statements here like print code band, and you could do any sort of code here that will repeatedly execute up to this list length of these fruits. So here if I do run my code here, python main.py, then I could say I could get apple, orange, banana and strawberry. So this is a kind of for loop that we use in lists and all iterators. And the next type of thing is I have already mentioned in the first part, like in the introduction section. What if you want to print your name 10 times, then you could use like print code band, and you will repeatedly do this stuff. So instead of that, what you can possibly do is you could use a for loop there. For example, I could say for I, here I'm using a variable I, you could use anything. For I in a range. Now range is a built-in method, and a range has got an arguments of start, stop and step. Now I'll talk about each one in detail. So I'll talk about start and stop at first. So we'll start off with 0 and up to we'll talk about 10. Okay, so now 0 is start and 10 is the end. So if I do print code band now, I'll do it in single quotes, and now if I do print this stuff, I got code band 10 times. Now what this does is it'll start from 0 and print this stuff, then it will increment by 1, it will be 1, then print code band, then it will become 2, then execute this statement, and up to up to this 10 but excluding 10, so up to 9. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, up to 9. So it will print this code band 10 times here. Okay, that is what is the concept of range, using range in for loops. So 0 to 10 means 0 to 9 actually. Now you could cut short this stuff like for I in range 10, which will essentially means the same thing. It will start from 0 by default and it will end in 9. So it will print this code band 10 times. So that is another workaround. Now what if I have mentioned that the start, stop and step. Now the step is nothing but it'll start, let me say I'll start with 1 in this case, and I'll go up to 11. Then I want something like the step as 2. So now what this does is it will start by 1, then it will print code band, and then it will increment 2. Okay, in case if there is a step variable, then it will increment that step variable. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Now the loop, now the I becomes 3. Now it will print the code band, it will go up to 11 excluding 11. So it will be like 1 3, then 5 7 and 9. It will not go to 11 because up to 11 excluding 11 means it can go up to 10. So in this case it will be like 1 3 5 7 and 9, which means it will print 5 times this statement code band. So let us look if it does, yeah, it does 5 times. So this is the concept of range in function in for loops. So this is very handy if you have a code block which can be executed a number of times. So these are for loops in general in Python. So if you have any doubts regarding these loops, then please let me know in the comment section. So that's all about the video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon near to it. So that's it guys, we'll talk about while loops in the next video. Thank you for watching, we'll see you in the next one.